Rebounding somewhat, these tech stocks today after that rout over at the NASDAQ yesterday with the fears of the new Chinese AI model coming in from the company DeepSeek. And, that was huge yesterday. It raised almost $1 trillion in stock market value here in the United States. Doug Flynn with us, Flynn Zito Capital Management. And, we were talking about reaction or overreaction in our conversation while it was going on. And now that we've seen it play out and, so many people have weighed in, again, a bit of a rebound today, but where are you now? Where do you stand now?
Yeah, I think it definitely was a rebound. Nvidia lost about almost $600 billion in company value yesterday, but it's got about 200 billion of that back today with the bounce back, and so even though your tech sector got hammered quite a bit. It's actually the biggest loss for the tech sector in about 4 years. Yesterday, you got about half of that back today, and that's kind of what you're looking for if you were looking for an entry point, as we talked about. That's an opportunity when you see things like that going on sale a bit during the uncertainty, if you believe in the long view, and a lot of people still do for this area.
Yeah, including, I think, President Trump. I mean, it was interesting. We were wondering what he would say, and he spoke right after our show yesterday with some, like the investor, Mark Andreessen, saying this is a Sputnik moment. Maybe it's a wake-up call. I think he kind of agrees with that. But then others were kind of freaking out about that, saying China's way ahead of us and all that kind of thing. But here's what Trump said. Watch.
Well, this is very unusual when you hear a DeepSeek, when you hear somebody come up with something. We always have the ideas. We're always first. So I would say that's a positive. That could be very much a positive development. So instead of spending billions and billions, you'll spend less and you'll come up with, hopefully, the same solution.
Well, think about that. It's interesting. The dance moves at the end, but that's interesting, right? If you think about why Nvidia, its stock price had been so high, I mean, theoretically, it's because the bet was all of these companies around the world, many of them in the United States, are going to have to spend so much money in the future on artificial intelligence. So from those companies' point of view, I think it's sort of what Trump is saying to some extent. Well, maybe this environment where they don't have to spend as much, you're still going to have a lot of innovation, and you're going to do it cheaper. It is the other side of it. What do you say?
It is, and definitely that, and maybe that money can get spent on doing more with as things get cheaper and cheaper, and as we get more competitive in that kind of environment. But there's a lot of downstream effects too. If you look at what happened to the energy companies and the power companies yesterday, they also got hit quite a bit. Some were down 20 or more % as well, because the theory behind that is that, well, maybe we don't need, with these big AI centers, all this power that we thought we were going to need. So now that means that they're going to generate less power, so they're not going to make as much money. But I think we're still going to need a lot of this stuff as we demand more and more overall. But it's just that quick step back at maybe we didn't have all the edge we thought we had, or maybe we're going to be in a little bit of a competitive situation. Or maybe we don't need quite as much as we thought we did. We may very well still need all that. And so I think long term, there's always going to be more energy demand. Perhaps on the chips, they get cheaper. There's other ones, they have to get better. We all have to get better. And that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. All right, Doug, thank you as always. Doug Flynn, closing bell time.